Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodio. I'd like to welcome guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about giant-sized Avengers Academy, issue number 1, and issues 14 to 20 from the ongoing. So without further ado, let's get into this. I'm going to tell you guys what I liked, what I didn't like. Spoiler warnings. We're going to get also the tie-ins to the Fear Itself crossover. With that crossover itself, I didn't like it that much at all. But the tie-ins, I did like the tie-ins from Avengers Academy. I thought they were pretty good. So without further ado, we're going to skim over the first couple of things. The giant-sized Avengers Academy issue where we have the kids from Avengers Academy teaming up with I can't remember the name of the team. You had Nomad Firestar. I can't remember if she was Spider Girl, Spider Woman. This guy that looked like a bull. It's a team that came out a long time ago. It wasn't that long ago because it's 2011. But it's just, this story is just pretty forgettable. We have the Avengers Academy and Nomad's team, who used to be female Bucky from Counter Earth, having to deal with Arcade. And both teams get captured and they have to free themselves from Arcade's new version of Murder World. And it's just a really, really mediocre Arcade story. Sort of checks the basic boxes of a traditional story where Arcade is the villain. You know, no one's going to get killed. Everyone's going to get off scot-free. Like, he's never a real menace most of the time. So I never found him to be a really interesting villain. The heroes are able to defeat him in a very convenient, like when I read the final part of the story, I thought to myself, like, oh man, that was just, how the hell did that happen? And that's really just too convenient. That's the writer just being really too lazy and fixing things up really quickly. La Deus Ex Machina. So let's get into issue 13, and this is a filler issue also. That's one of my, because this series came after Avengers Initiative, which I freaking loved, and this series it was sort of like the continuation, and I do like it. I do like some of the ideas that Chris Gage is the one behind most of these issues, except for the giant size Avengers Academy. I can't remember who's the writer. Let me see here really quickly. Paul Tobin. So, but there's just one thing that we got more of in this series compared to the Initiative, is there's more teen drama and teen soap opera stuff, and I don't like that. So we get a lot of that in this issue. So sometimes I love filler issues, like because they maybe try something with more levity, or try to take the story in a pretty cool angle for a one shot, or they try to progress some character in some way without having a battle or stuff like that, or you're dealing with the fallout or the beginning of some big story arc. But here, nothing really interesting is going on. Like, we have kids squabbling over relationships and the adults squabbling over relationships, so there's nothing really. This issue just really gets on my nerves, because this series in general was pretty solid. Then we have issue 14, which is awesome. We have Avengers Academy having to deal with the Sinister Six. We have Doc Ock. This is during the phase like he's dying. He's about to hijack Spider-Man's mind. And it's a pretty good story. Here, what we get is the kids from Avengers Academy trying to stop the Sinister Six from stealing some type of technological artifact. They get their ass kicked, and so the professors, Pym, Justice, and all Tiger, try to jump in and give the kids a hand. And Doc Ock actually takes advantage of Pym's technology and is able to steal what he needed. So Doc Ock totally screws Pym over and is able to defeat the heroes. So that's actually a pretty cool story. Because I have a real soft spot for Doc Ock and the Sinister Six. I always love to see him in action and coming on top. Issue 14.1. This issue really rocks because we get the first original villain to this team. His name is Jeremy Briggs. And the kids at the Avengers Academy find out there was another kid on the list that was being trained by the Norman Osborn, because all these kids were being trained by Osborn to be the next generation of supervillains. And they wanted to find out what happened to him, because if he became a hero or a villain or whatever. But they discover he becomes like this owner of a giant company. He became a millionaire. He can alter chemical reactions and stuff like that, and use his powers to make a shit ton of money. So he's telling the kids, like, hey guys, why don't you use your powers and help people, really help people, like save lives, or use them for your economic gain, work for a company or something like that. Like he shows how he cured this kid that was super deformed, sort of like a monster. We have another lady that uses her powers to help people in Haiti. He talks about this kid that wanted to be a hero and got eaten by Wendigo. And so he's like offering them to work more constructively, because all he says is that being superheroes just leads to more destruction, and just leads to be more chaos in the world. But Finesse sort of realizes this guy's sort of full of shit. Things don't. She just knows he's lying. He has something hidden, that he has skeletons in his closet. This leads to a brief battle with Briggs, who totally wipes the floor with them, and the kids leave. But we know we're going to see more of Jeremy Briggs further down the line. Then we have the Fear Itself tie-ins, which are 1 billion issues, but these issues are actually pretty good, because what happens is the teachers are off to fighting all the chaos that started by the Serpent. Tigra takes the kids into helping her evacuate people from DC that's under attack. So they're doing their best evacuating, but things sort of start getting pretty complicated. Metal accidentally kills a guy that's operating a mech. They start seeing dead bodies. These kids are 16 years old. And here Chris Gage does a really good job of showing how sort of irresponsible the Avengers are in taking kids into battle. That's really fucking them up. Tigra is like sort of realizing the mistakes she has committed. Like they're seeing too many things that at their age they should not be seeing. While Hank Pym goes on a epic battle against Absorbing Man, trying to save Dubai. We have Titania also almost killing Justice and taking down Quicksilver. But this battle's awesome. And Giant Man's able to teleport Absorbing Man away with Titania, but right at the moment they're leaving, they just clank their hammers together and the whole city just explodes. It's really epic. Then we have Vale. She's trying to save this little girl's mom. She goes in, finds her, gets her out, and she gets shot. It's brutal. Vale totally flips out, kills this poor guy. No, not a poor guy. He's an evil Nazi, of course. So, but this really messes Vale up. So we're talking about that. All these kids are dealing with post-traumatic disorder. Like, there's a really good focus, and it does open a lot of the ethical questions about teenage hero teams. Like here we see all these dead bodies and the kids are not cool with this situation. So they're taken to Infinity Mansion. They kept him hiding because things keep on escalating with Serpent and his generals. Absorbing Man and Titania are able to find the Infinity Mansion. Kids fighting for their lives. Like here you feel like the helplessness of these kids. They're realizing they're not going to make it out of this situation. They're going to probably get killed. They try every trick in the book and they just can't stop Absorbing Man and Titania. And at the end of the story, we have like the Avengers Mansion of Infinity Mansion is going to destroy reality because of Absorbing Man's powers, making things go haywire. But like blasting through all of this, like there's one issue too many in these tie-ins, is that the adults are able to jump in, save the day, Giant Man. And they're actually able to stop Absorbing Man because he leaves to go and defend the Serpent in Titania too. They don't actually defeat him. And in the fallout of this whole situation, the Infinity Mansion gets destroyed. Speedball leaves the team. We re-encounter again. Jeremy Briggs are fighting. Pym and the kids are fighting a group of these C-list villains. Jeremy Briggs just uses his funky powers again, turns off all the villains' powers. It's like, hey, I finished this, kids. You have my offer if you want to join me. And it's like Pym's like, what the hell is this guy? So Vale might leave the team, and at the end of the story, we get that the Avengers Academy is going to the West Coast Avengers old base in Palos Verdes. That's their new base of operations, and we get these new members. You have Butterball here. That's pretty awesome. I don't care about anyone else. We have Butterball. So, guys, hope you like this video. See you guys next time. Bye.